Hello, sports fans. Thank you for tuning in to some more ACAA action. We just wrapped up the women's volleyball game as your Seawolves took down the Chargers 3-2 in a thrilling fifth set. We are joined now by the male counterparts, Chargers and Seawolves. This is a big one. I think the last two times these teams played, it went to game 5 for each team. So, you know, some really good games to be had here. Playoffs are coming up here. I don't think for both teams. I think one team is gonna miss the playoffs this year within the conference, and it's looking like that might be Crandall. But this is their first year in the division. They only have one player on the whole team that is not a first-year player. So a lot of youth, but also a lot of talent, as you'll see. Back now to serve for the Chargers. That's number 14. That's Sam Tingley. That's that second-year player that we're talking about. He's from Tingley, New Brunswick. Sorry. I apologize. He's from New Maryland, New Brunswick. Huge swing there from. I'm missing a number here. From number 3, that's Fielch. Carson Fielch, first-year middle out of Victoria, BC. Long way from home. Back now to serve. Your setter and your captain. That's Liam McClellan, who's slightly not even close on that one. God bless him. That's the issue with that float serve, man. Sometimes it can get away from you. It can catch a little wave and just keep carrying out of bounds. Wow, what a serve, but what a dig. Great job by JFM to dig that up. Jonathan Fraser Monroe, number 13. Ooh. Some tricksiness. A little bit of tricksiness from the Chargers there. The change up on the spin serve, landing short, and then the tip. No change up on that one, as that one's driven in by Shane Huggard. Ooh. And Gauthier returns the favor with the tip there. So a couple tips to start this one off. 2-2 through 4. Gauthier now back to serve. Gauthier got the bionic arm tape going on in that left arm, or that right arm, I apologize. This one's just going to go over. Seawolves going to get a chance to run their offense. I love the footwork there from Fraser Monroe. Oh, unfortunate, man. I really liked what the Seawolves did. I thought they covered the defensive side well. I thought Fraser Monroe and Gauthier did really good jobs passing free balls where they can run the offense. I just think that, you know, for some reason or another, the first one to Seifker on that back quick wasn't in his wheelhouse. I thought he was going to send that one to Pound Town. And then Fields just a little bit too far pushed out to the left. He was having one of those funny little fading sets where he was falling away from it as he's swinging at it, but still not able to find the court on that one, and the point's going to go back to the Chargers. Fraser Monroe just going to have to bump that one over. Oh, a net touch on Kearney Staunton, unfortunately, and that point's going to go to the Chargers as well. A bit of the set slightly too tight, possibly from Sam Tingley there. I think number 16, Peyton Santapass, had a bit of an issue trying to get after that one. Bit of a tough serve there by number 12, Noah McDonald. Tall drink of water, 6'5" middle from Riverview, New Brunswick. These two teams, you know, not a whole lot of playing experience. Like I said, the Chargers is their first year in the conference. So all the times that these two teams have ever met have been this year. Nice push out to Kearney Staunton, who, you know, takes his time up there. It felt like I was going to say he jumped early, and he just hung around, and as soon as the ball got into his wheelhouse, unloads on it. Squeezes it through the block, finds some hardwood, and takes the point back there from the Seawolves. McClellan looking back at him and saying, should I put that a little higher? And I don't know if maybe it was higher or quicker, but good job to Kearney Staunton to, you know, hang up there in that rarefied air and make it work. Not sure what happened on the back end there by the Chargers. The libero Number 5, Austin Trites ended up on his back. Last time I watched these two games, Austin Trites had an awesome game. An awesome game. He is a really tenacious libero. Right on cue. Nope, no touch. That's a tough one. You got to let that ball come all the way across your body and out to your right shoulder as a right-handed hitter to try and let that one get that one in the court. Unfortunately for Santa Pass there, the piece he gets if it's a little bit too low hits the tape, and that point's going to go back to the Seawolves. So now through 10, or even 5-5. Fields back now to serve. And he's going to send that one just long. So some serving errors early from both teams. Santa Pass to serve. Unfortunately, that one's going to go long. Credit to Gauthier. You know, he did a good job of getting to the ball, you know, following it to that back line at the last second, you know, when you realize then it's going long and you've done your due diligence, you can let it go. He didn't just kind of hope it to go out of bounds. Seafer now back to serve. Yeah, I think you could blame the toss on that one. I think he put that one a little too far out in front of him. Made it tough for him to go get it, especially considering he's got a bit of a lackadaisical approach. You know, that nice high toss and then 2 quick steps is basically all it is for him. Usually you'll see about 3. But as it stands, you know, just I think a little bit too far in front of him, and he was reaching at it and drives into the tape. Wow. Great run there. You know, maybe, if not, maybe a little bit unorthodox. It almost verged on being like a meter ball, not a quick, in that, you know, number 4 from the Chargers, Bryce Stockford maybe was a little late getting there, but does a good job of changing his shoulders in air and getting a nice swing on it. Seifker with a good push. Oh, that's in there. Seifker with a good push, and the Seawolves run an interesting offensive run there. And almost, you know, Kearney Stout and the power almost coming in for a middle run, which is a little interesting, but he's able to squeak it over the tape, and it does its best to almost sneak out of bounds. It runs along the tape there for a little while, but trickles over and steals the point. Kearney Stout with a great serve. Seifker, lovely hand. What a tip. Just a great job. Great job across the board there from the Seawolves. Similar to, as I was saying earlier in the female game with Amy Carey, Leah McClellan is fairly remiss to ever tip it, but when he does mix it in, you know, because he does it so rarely, it's usually a really, really awesome option. On top of that, McClellan, you know, a big, strong athlete. When he's tipping it downward. He's not having to tip it because, holy smokes. Instant transmission. North-south, man. Number 4, Bryce Stockford with the rejection. The give and go back to Gauthier. Ooh, the Gator. The Gator! Oh, what a touch by Gauthier! Oh, and what an effort from Jonathan Fraser Monroe. A couple nice points there from Shane Huggard. A couple nice contacts, I should say. As Stockford now back to serve his second. Ooh. Seawolves kind of trying to run a little bit of a combo route there. Have Willis flash in front and then set a little bit of a quicker tempo ball just over it to Gauthier there. Unfortunately, Gauthier tries to put a little bit too much snap on it and just drives it right into the tape. Fraser Monroe. Ooh. I can't tell you how beautiful that is, folks. One, it's always awesome in volleyball when you get that 3 contacts in a row into a kill. Great pass, great set, great swing. But for Willis to come from behind the setter, open up, and then drop his shoulder and hit back across to the right from his perspective is just a nutty play. And then follows it up with a bomb serve. Gauthier just going to roll one over. Gauthier got tough stuck in a tough spot there. He wants to just put that ball in, and it's just too low where he can't really take a jump and take a swing at it. He tries to put, a put-together roll shot in there, and unfortunately it just drives it out the back. And it's one of those spots where if you just ask him to put it in the court, he could do it a million times. But as a hitter, there's that onus where you don't want to make it too easy either. You want to put some trouble on it. Unfortunately, he drives that one out the back and then follows it up with a really nice little double touch there. So back now to serve is number 14. That's Tingley. Great pass. What a dig! That's a double. Interesting. Seifker. Oh. And that point's going to go to the Chargers. I thought we had a double touch earlier from the Chargers on that one. I will say, our head ref here today, Jen Brown, one of the best, was voted the official of the year by Volleyball New Brunswick, and I think that is totally justified. I played in this league myself for 5 years, and Jen Brown was far and away the best and most consistent ref that we ever had, so I'll try not to do too much chipping into the refereeing. She definitely knows better than I do, and as I'm ranting about that, an absolutely massive block from Noah McDonald. Unfortunately for the Chargers, Tingley sends that one way out the right. So now just a 5-point lead. But so far, all things Chargers. If you're the Seawolves, you got to start to try and rally here. Protect this house. Classic float serve there from McClellan. Huggard going up to get it. Real nice swing from him. Gauthier. See, that's what you get with Gauthier. Like, that one, for all intents and purposes, not a very great approach, not exactly in his wheelhouse. You could see he was certainly reaching at it, and by the same merit, still able to produce a hit that a lot of people in this league would say is probably one of the best hits that they could do. So he's, an immense amount of ability on number 6 there. What a touch by McClellan. What a touch by Seifker. Oh, and McClellan hitting the turf hard to try and make another play. Unfortunately, just too much scrambling and too much tenacity from the Chargers there. Seawolves did a good job of, not saying die, but the Chargers just execution testing them, never making that mistake. Holy smokes, what a dig. And just a miscommunication from McClellan there to Gauthier. I don't know if I love the pipe. Well, I will say, I think the pipe option there is a fine set, especially if it's a set that you trust as a team. But it didn't look like, Gauthier and McClellan have a lot of experience trying to run that play from that spot on the court. McClellan doing what he can to try and stay off the net. Doing his best to try and get athletic and keep himself off. Unfortunately, just a little touch there. I would imagine that was more of a jersey than a body part touching, but any of that matters. And the refs are going to call it. And so far, we've played 30 points, and it has been all Chargers so far, holding an 8-point lead at that first 20-point turn. Yeah, good call. While we have the break, let's take a chance to thank the sponsors from the 2023-2024 season. We have the UNB Associated Alumni. I would consider myself one of them. Great group of folks. One Team Sports Group. Booster Juice, where if you're in the building today, there's some Booster Juice samples going down below, and they're amazing. They're a glass of life. ACAA TV, powered by Sports Canada TV. They've been, providing this type of broadcast for years here in the ACAA. Domino's Pizza. If you don't already know, students get 40% off. I used to know the code. I don't anymore. They probably wouldn't love me saying it over the broadcast anyway, but if you're a student, find out the code and take care of it. That's 40% off. You can't beat that. The last sponsor, Beer Bread Pizza. One of the new restaurants here in the Jig. Awesome food, awesome beer, great environment. Back now to serve Stockford. Or no, sorry, that's not Stockford. That's McDonald. Kearney Staunton getting a nice swing on that one. Stockford going back. Big block by Kearney Staunton. Going outside again. Unfortunately, Santa Pass can't get enough topspin on it to bring that down. It's going to go wide out to the left. And a huge, huge point for the Seawolves for a couple of reasons. One, coming out of that timeout, if they get to 20 there and extend the lead to 9 points, it can start to really feel over. On top of that, now you got Fields back serving, and Fields is one of their more consistent servers, especially in situations like this. Seen it before. Number 7, Jack Hillier, tries to go for the tip there. I thought it was the right play. Unfortunately, he isn't able to find any hands and just tips it straight out of bounds. Hillier all the way from Gander, Newfoundland. Push out, yep. Love it. What a dig. Great touch there by Trites. Unfortunately, Hillier is going to send that one way out the back. A couple really nice touches, though. There were some volleyball plays going on there. Out of the middle, the block instantly back into your own face is, that's the classic. Stockford getting a taste of his own medicine after a big block from himself earlier. Santa Pass. Honestly, I think he's approaching the ball well and meeting the ball well in space, but just has been, had a hard time converting those into points so far this game. And, big credit to the Seawolves and to head coach Gino Karatsios. This game was 18-11, I believe, heading into the last timeout. And they came out, they win the first point out of the timeout and then go on a really nice run behind Fields serving. And because of that, now it's just a 4-point game. Totally, totally doable. All right, now Fields back to serve again. Oh my goodness, that was close. That one just out apparently. And the point's gonna go back there to the Chargers. So now Santa Pass back to serve. Be interested to see if he's a spin server. He gets a lot of top spin on his hit and it leads you to believe he might be a spin server. Nope. Gonna go with the classic float. I can't, I don't know if it translates how awesome that was at home, but Siefker, man, when he gets it in his wheelhouse, like I said, it is like instant transmission down. The angle he's able to hit that down for is, whew. Follows it up with a nice serve as well. Trying to, oh my goodness, man. The Seawolves are running some offense right now. Respect to Stockford. Stockford tries to fire a really high looping pass out to his C-ball option, Santa Pass. Unfortunately, if it was a front court set, it actually probably would have been a really money set, but it's a little bit too far forward. Santa Pass has to just overbump it, and the Seawolves make a pay. JFM with a great dig. Kearney Staunton with a winner. I mean, these Seawolves, like, whatever happened to that timeout when they were at 11 points, this has looked like a completely different team. They've passed way better. They've served way better, and when they've been able to run their offense, they've been putting them away. I like Siefker's, I like his style today. Black socks, black knee pads, got the white and black shoes with the white and red jerseys, looking good. I can't say the same about everybody else out there. Some boys got to get the swag coaches going. Unfortunately for Siefker, it's that one a little too high up the ball and is going to drive it into the tape. So Hillier now back to serve. Hillier with a good little float. Oh, and Trites takes a swap at it, and, you know, it's not an easy play. Even to be in position there is pretty impressive, but shout out to McClellan there. I mean, Kearney Staunton is the one that puts it away, but McClellan puts his whole body in that little slapping bump motion to try and get that out to the pin and puts a ball out there that Kearney Staunton can totally work with and turns into a winner. Oh, it's in! Kearney Staunton with a crazy spin. This was, you know, 2 sips of coffee ago, this was an 8-point game, and now it's a 1-point game with 4 to play. Like I said, these two teams very evenly matched, and, you know, any one set can go either way. But for, you know, this kind of back and forth in just the first set, I mean, I feel like we're in for one today, folks. Kearney Staunton now back to serve, following up that first ace. Holy smokes, man. That is, no, I mean, the call should have been called way earlier. The whistle, I mean, the ball hit the roof. We're not in America. That's against the rules here. But back-to-back aces for Kearney Staunton to tie the game up now. And, man, when the Chargers were up as much as they were, it feels like a distant, distant memory. Oh, just long, unfortunately. The exact same thing happened in the female game as well. I believe Dom Gendron had 2 awesome spin serves in a row, 2 aces back-to-back, and then puts the third one out. So that's a pretty classic spin server move. You start to really feel yourself and start to really, really swing. But you know what? Credit to UNBSJ for rallying, getting a good pass off the first one, and Gauthier to put that point back on the Seawolves side. Shout out to Finn Kearney Staunton, UNBSJ number 7, from his family all the way watching from England. That's a huge you betcha. It's a little late there, guys. 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. We love the support. Unfortunately, Willis puts that one into the tape. Probably his Achilles heel, he would tell you. I don't think that he would say he's the strongest server. I've said, you know, I think it would be awesome for him to have a bit of a change-up if he could, just to make sure that maybe you make those first 1 or 2, and then you can start to build momentum into the stronger swings. Fielch. Good job by Fielch there. Wow, but a great job by Huggard. Oh, they're talking about some stuff. Interesting. I wonder what the point of contention is here. Neither here nor there. Chargers, well, you know, it's hard to underestimate how easy it would have been for them to roll over when they blew that first lead they had. But right back in it now, and you know, facing, you know, a win here with just 1 good point. Santa Pass gets sent back by Fielch. I'll tell you what, Santa Pass hasn't had the greatest first set, but I actually really do appreciate his composure. He looked at his team and said that, you know, like, don't worry about it when the next one's going to go over, guys. And that's not easy in a situation like this in a game. That's, you know, that's good mentality and good composure by Santa Pass there, the first-year player. Oh, man. Fields with another huge block, and obviously the boys got a little bit too fired up on that one. For I think he did some looking through the net, which you can't do. You know, celebrate with your guys, not with the guys on the other side. Unfortunately, Santa Pass back-to-back, you know, you got a roof built on them. That's a tough feeling, especially now when you were in a position to win the game, and then you lose 2 straight, and now you're tied up, and you're going to extra points. But he's getting a chance. There we go. Nice swing from Santa Pass there. Gauthier bothered by that one. He really wanted that one back. I think McClellan did a good job firing that one up into his wheelhouse from back in the corner. I thought for sure he was going to tee away on it. Unfortunately, not enough topspin. Sends that one out the side, and Chargers now in position. Gauthier with a great pass. Siefker out of the power. Oh, bleh. Now you're allowed to double touch the first contact to some extent. Like, you're not in there. You're not allowed to, like, you know, purposely go out of your way to have 2 separate motions to touch the ball. But if your first contact on a possession is a double touch, and you can see that it was all one motion, it's completely legal. It's for the, you know, the pace of the game. Those first balls are driven so hard that if every time a ball came out with spin on that first contact, you know, we would have a way more choppy, less, you know, fun-paced, rally-driven game. And so we let them do it. And, you know, I think there were some hums and haws from the crowds there as to why it wasn't called, but that's the reason. Great job there by McDonald. Great job by McDonald. The Chargers have been looking for some offensive production the last couple of points, and you know they had hung around with some good serves and some miscues by the Seawolves, but that was the first real winner in a while from the Chargers, and they needed that. Now up 1. So McDonald now back to serve. Great serve. And an ace to win it. McDonald huge down the stretch for the Chargers as they take the first set 27-25. So the first score, like I said, 27-25 for the Chargers as they finish 1-0 after the first set. I think that was happening the last time they came to town as well. Just in between the break here, do not forget to follow the Seawolves on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're already watching, you're on the right channel. It's at UNBSJ Seawolves. That's at UNBSJ Seawolves, and that's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as the YouTube that you're already watching. If you're here or you're a fan, follow. The content's awesome. They get the student athletes involved as much as they can, and it's a good follow for for your local university. I would also like to shout out the athletes of the week: Bailey Henderson from the WBB, that's the women's basketball team, and Jack Fury Miller from the MBB, the men's basketball team. Also shout out to our Beerbread athletes of the month for January. We got Dom Gendron from the women's volleyball team, and we got Ethan Zemurda from the men's basketball team. Said hold up, do it home. All right. We're back. Looks like we got familiar faces on both sides. Don't think any changes were made. Both teams had chances to win that last one. I think the coaches are going to try and want to stick with those lineups and see what they can get out of them. Back now to serve to start this for the second set. I apologize. Setter Liam McClellan. Oh, captain, my captain. Oh, wow. Stockford tries to go to McDonald there, quick tempo. And Gauthier tries to drive that one high and hard and through the hands. Unfortunately, no touch, and he's going to go out the side there. So back now to serve is Huggard. Huggard with the changeup. Just going to get tipped over. Chargers going to run their offense here. Oh, the tip. Oh, winner. Not exactly how Hilliard drew it up, I think, but he's able to make a lot out of, not the best set. Find some space right in front of Siefker there and take the point. So a 2-0 start here for the Chargers. Oh, my goodness. The knuckleball. I'm not even sure Huggard thought that one was going in, but somehow I think it was. As much as, a miss hit on a spin serve almost always results in a miss. I think that one was probably going to find some court, and it put Gauthier in a really tough position trying to pass that one. How often are you passing a ball with side spin? Wow, but, a broken clock is only right twice a day. Another miss hit there from Huggard as he drives that one out the back and gives the point back to the Seawolves. But a good start there from Huggard as, now the Chargers start with a 3-1 lead here in the second set. Gauthier back to serve. Oof. Not the best start of the day from Gauthier so far. He had a couple of nice swings to start the first set, but I think he tapered off near the end as far as his efficiency was going, and not a couple of not so amazing plays to start the second as well. McDonald to serve. Wow. Credit to the Chargers for just rallying, being there, playing defense. Oh, no! Jen, I think that's a missed call. I don't know if anyone on the court thought that ball hit the ground. Unfortunately, Jen Brown, maybe a bit of an early whistle. Doesn't let them play it out. McDonald tries to float that one down the line. Unfortunately, a little bit too much juice. Pushes it out the back, and that point's going to go back to the Seawolves. So pretty much mirror start for both servers. 2 serves and a miss for Huggard, and then 2 serves and a miss for McDonald. And a 3-1 start on both of them. Now a 6-2 lead for the Chargers. Oh, it's up! Wow, what an effort from Fields, but what a nice swing from Santapass there. I think he had some struggles there in the first set, and that's a nice way to rebound in his first contact here in the second. Santapass rocking the 1 knee pad. Nice pass. Great job. When they're able to get a good pass and put it into Willis's wheelhouse, I would love to see what his hitting percentage is. He's a weapon, man. I've said it many times that I think that these Seawolves teams would be smart to establish the middle more than they do. I think that everyone, both the Seawolves teams, the man and the women's team, would probably agree that their strengths are their outside hitters, but they have some quality in the middle, and it really sets up your offense differently when the other team believes that you'll run the middle. Nice push there by McClellan. to fire that one back. I thought maybe there was a chance we hear a whistle for him being a little bit too early and how he crossed the net there, but Jen Brown letting them play. Stockford with a push to the outside. Hillier with a big swing, but dug up. The give and go. Oh, but Hillier returned the favor. Oh, too long, but played by Gauthier. And that one too long, and Trites does a good job not touching it. Nice serve from Hillier. Great job by Kearney Staunton to find that ball in space and get a nice swing on it. Santa pass backcourt. Oh, he stepped over the line. Great job, Jen Brown. He was so close where I had to kind of have that moment where, and I think Jen did the same thing. Jen saw the foot, waited for him to land and say, okay, is he going backcourt or is he going front court? And when she saw him take his position back in the backcourt, call was easy. Nice serve there by Kearney Staunton. Santa pass, unfortunately, isn't able to get that one over the net. And the Seawolves now doing a good job of closing that early lead. Holy smokes, what a serve. Unfortunately, that one's going to go just out. And now the Seawolves back within one. Kearney Staunton. Oh, it's long. Wow. I think that everybody on the Chargers were trying to touch that and couldn't, and just kind of got lucky maybe that it wasn't going to find any court. Oh, McClellan gets caught up there, isn't exactly sure how best to pop it up. I think he kind of had some second thoughts about you're not really supposed to reach back on defense like that. And as he was reaching back, thought maybe someone's in better position. And when he tried to pull his hand away, probably realized last second he was the only one there and just got in a tough position. Oh, and that falls in. What a serve. And what a serve, man. Seawolves, you know, they did a good job battling back, but credit to the Chargers. As soon as they were within one, you know, smelled a little blood in the water and started to pull away again. Bryce Stockford to serve. Oh, it's an interesting rep where they have Willis there from one rep on the outside. Oh, wow. Impressive rep by Gauthier. Most people in the league, that one's going to trickle over their hands, but he has that extra little bit of height, that extra little gear. hangs in there, is able to tip that one back and steal that point back for the Chargers. I mean, for the Seawolves. I mean, and that's huge, right? That's the difference between this point being a 6-point game and a 4-point game. And Willis with the miss serve. Said it before, don't like to harp on it, but it's a big momentum killer. He does a great job of getting momentum for them with his reps at the front court. He needs to be able to reward his team by just putting that serve in. Seifer's going to pop that one up. Good job by, really good job by Jonathan Fraser-Monroe, just being the loudest voice in the room there, saying, I got it, waving everybody else off, getting there, putting that high, hard ball to the corner. Honestly, I think Gauthier probably should have got a better swing on it. You can see him kind of moving that shoulder around like, I got to do better myself. And then Seifer struggled with the serve receive there. Now, I think this is that funny serve receive where they're going to let Seifer serve receive instead of Gauthier, just so that Gauthier can be an option here at the front court early. Usually they would pinch Seifer back, but they do this because they like the option they have with number 12, Seifer serve receiving. And so that Adam Gauthier, number 6, as soon as that ball crosses the tape, he's just going to go get ready to play some offense, go be a hitter. So, now to serve McClellan, number 1, El Capitan. Oh, that's tough. Trites tried to follow it back to the line. I think halfway through, I wasn't sure if it was going in or out either. Last second, Trites tries to take a stab at it, and it goes off his hands. And a big ace there for the Seawolves, and now bring it within 5. That's such an up. So well done. And a really tough over volley there. You basically have to set that straight up if you're McClellan. And another amazing touch from McClellan. Good job by Huggard to get that ball. And a good job by Fields, man. That one's just going to get tipped over. Be able to run their offense. And a winner from Gauthier. Wow. Talk about a grind. Talk about a grind by the Seawolves. They were on the defense of that whole play, tipping it up, throwing free balls over, making digs. As soon as they get their first chance to play offense, winner from Gauthier. That's huge. The Seawolves now, as that one goes out of bounds, the Seawolves now right in it. 3-point game again. Wow, sending the tip back. And the timeout by the Chargers. Really great job by the Seawolves, man. This one was getting away from them, especially already down 1-0 in the game. For them to bring it within 2, especially here, like to do it so quickly. No one's turning that corner on that 20 mark. This is anybody's game at the moment. Magic, magic. Great songs going on here in the intermission. All right, so obviously no changes in the lineups. I don't think that, I think both teams are probably pretty happy with how they're playing for the most part at the moment. But we got the Seawolves serving. It's McClellan he's going on a bit of a serving streak at the moment. If you're the Chargers, your offensive options are Santa Pass, McDonald, and Huggard. You got Huggard out of the right side. If you get a good pass here, I think that's going to be where you're going. Here it is, yep. Oh, they go middle, and it gets pushed back by Gauthier. Santa Pass gets his, and he doesn't able to get it over the tape. Oh, and that might be enough. Dang, so we're going to see a switch there. Santa Pass, number 16, Going to get a spell on the bench as into the game comes Colby Reese, the 6'3" outside hitter from Drayton Valley, Alberta. Far from home. McClellan now to serve. Hugger just going to bump this one over. Sewell's going to get a chance to run their offense. Siefker. Oh, interesting. So 13, who just came into the game, Reese, he's a lefty. And I would imagine based on the positioning, he's going to be playing right side for them. That one's tight to the net. Fielch, I like that decision making there, eh? Honestly, I'll tell you why. Fielch could have easily tried to go up and play that one off the net, but oh my God, it's up! It's up! What an up! Any means necessary. No! Oh, it's unfortunate, man. Dude, what a crazy up from Hillier. That's a never say die attitude there. So unfortunate that that play is going to end on a net touch. You want the boys to keep playing. Then again, not allowed to touch the net. Hugger now back to serve. He has had a really, really tough day with getting a consistent swing on that. His last, I would say, 4 have only had probably one real good, contact. He had that side spin one that probably snuck in. The next one after that, he put out the back. And then his first serve into the next sequence, he barely hit it. I'd like to see him maybe try and take a little bit off of that, kind of the same mindset I'd have for Willis, and that just make your first couple, and then you can start to try and turn it on and you start to build some momentum. Great job there by... Great job there by Jonathan Fraser-Moreau on the dig, but Gauthier with another handling contact. He's not, usually he's a fairly clean player as far as like his contacts go and his coordination with the ball, but a couple of those early today. So McDonald now to serve. Ooh, that's a tough one. Hillier! Hillier fired up about it, does a bit of a victory lap for his bench. Waves goodbye to that one. That's a huge swing from Hillier. Hillier, like a lot of this team, first-year player. Good job by Hilliers to play that back. Oh, my goodness, man. Fields takes the blunt of that one. Fields with an amazing block. Fields is an amazing blocker. I think that's just a better way to put it. I think, earlier this year we had seen some rotations with, we had seen Ethan Tucker in the game, and we had seen some rotations with Craig Bartlett getting some reps. And I think the reason we've stayed with Fields, he's obviously, a talented option offensively, but he, for my money, he's one of the best blockers in the league. The way he gets himself into position, follows the hitter, not exactly the ball. Just really impressive stuff. Unfortunately, Kearney Stoughton puts that one out the back, and the 2-point lead for the Chargers remains. Kearney Stoughton high off the hands, and Trites takes a stab at it, but unfortunately isn't able to get it. To some extent, it's funny to say, but you actually really do want your defenders to have a little bit of length for moments like that, and I think most players kind of attribute liberos as being smaller people. Jonathan Fraser-Monroe on the Seawolves is only 5'9", and Austin Trites on the Chargers is only 5'7", but just that little bit of length can help with those balls floating over your head, and Trites isn't able to get there. Hillier now back to serve. And unfortunately, he isn't able to get a piece of that one. As he drives into the tape and gives the points back to the Seawolves. Now just a 1-point game as these two teams are turning the corner. And Kearney Stoughton now back to serve. What a serve, man. I didn't want to say anything because I'm pretty bad about, putting the commentator's curse on people I think are playing well, but he is by far the strongest server on this Seawolves team, at least when he hits it very, very well. And he's been serving incredibly consistently so far today. Probably one of the guys you want here down the stretch. Trites eats that one up, though. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge block from Gauthier, making his presence known. I think he's had a bit of a quiet day so far, but as one of the the bigger contributors on this team, that's a huge play down the stretch and a timeout called by the Chargers. For my money, I would have thought that 2 contacts the Chargers had in that set were double touches. I thought the first set was a double touch, and I thought when the setter Tingley was pulled out, I thought the second touch from the libero was a double touch. Neither were called. And the next swing was a block that got absolutely roofed from Gauthier. And, credit to Gauthier to take the mindset to say, listen, we're not going to wait for the ref to call the plays. We're going to take things into our own hands and win the point our own way. So, with that, they take what I believe is their first lead of this second set. And having lost that first one, 27-25, it's shaping up to be a very, very, very similar finish here in the second. So, Kearney Stout now back to serve. Part of the benefit of taking a timeout there is you try and ice the server, put some pressure on him serving. Unfortunately, he comes out and just serves hardwood right to Trites. It's up! Oh, it's up! No! You can tell Siefker's left. I mean, you can tell Siefker's very right-hand dominant there. That was standing right in front of him, and a left-handed slap at that puts that one right in the course. In the court, unfortunately, he tries to take a funny little right-handed backhand at it and isn't able to find the court. Nice pass from Siefker. And Gauthier with a winner. That one's tough, drives it right through the hands. It's a very interesting serve receive from these Seawolves. Siefker, the right side, is doing a huge bulk of the serve receiving, and right there, they had Kearney Staunton pinched out, and they had Gauthier pushed to the side, and it was basically a 2-man serve receive with your right side and your libero. I can almost guarantee you, watching the ACAA, you've never seen that before. Ethan Tucker with a really, really good serve in spell of Cam Willis. A great job by McClellan just to save the play, basically. Tucker with a huge dig. And Gauthier with a winner! Hillier can't get out of the way. Credit to Tucker. This dynamic about Willis not serving and Tucker coming in happens a lot. It's because Willis isn't as consistent as a server as I think you'd like. But on the flip side, you get such a consistent server with Tucker and a great defender. I don't understand why this isn't something they think to do almost every time. I understand you want to get more reps with Willis practicing his serve. But man, Tucker is a valuable addition to this lineup when he gets in there. And what a swing from Gauthier. Clean over top. There wasn't anything anyone on the court or watching at home could have done about that. I mean, that's the undefeatable shot. The over top the block, the high, hard driven to the back court. Unless you have a defender right there in position, it's almost impossible to stop. Tucker with another great serve. Oh my God. What a huge block. These Seawolves made their net theirs to end that first set. McClellan showing a lot of emotion, which is something we don't always see from him. That isn't to say he's not emotive. He is, and he does a good job getting his team pumped up. He's not very often to be the person to scream through the net and show some celebration like that. But to end off the second set and make it 1-1, especially against probably their best hitter in a solo block on the edge, McClellan was fired up about that one, and rightfully so. Taking a chance now to thank our sponsors again. If you didn't already hear it the first time, we have some awesome 2023-2024 season partners that we'd like to thank. The UNB Associated Alumni, One Team Sports Group, Booster Juice, ACAA TV, powered by Sports Canada TV, Domino's Pizza, UNBSJ students get 40% off for online orders. Take advantage of it. It's the best. I lived off of it, and I didn't turn out so bad when I was in university. And then, of course, we have Beer Bread Pizza, one of the local new watering holes in St. John. Deadly place to be. If you've never been, go check it out. They got awesome food and drink, and the environment's really sweet. They're open late, just underneath Rockies uptown. Go check them out. Anyway, I kind of had a feeling this is how this game was going to go. We'll do our best to make sure that we'll get you out of here in time for the Super Bowl, but these two teams always play each other tight. That's crazy. That's crazy. We're getting a switch at middle. The only way I would say that this switch makes sense from a coaching point of view would be if Fielch maybe has some sort of injury. It looks like maybe he's holding his knee, because Fielch, who I thought played an amazing second set, is now going to take a spell on the bench, and into the game comes number 16, first-year player, Craig Bartlett from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I've liked Bartlett when he's been able to come in and get some reps, and I don't think that he, necessarily, is going to hinder this team in any way as opposed to Fielch being in there. I just thought Fielch played great. For him not to be in the set's a little surprising, I suppose, is the way I'll look at it. But, he's got his knee pad down now and got some stuff on his knee, and it looks like maybe he's nursing something. So, don't want to speculate anymore. As it stands, we've got Bartlett now in the game, number 16. He's going to be in for middle. And on the Chargers side, I don't see any totally new faces. It looks like maybe we'll get a different look at the libero position. Nate Haverico is standing there looking like he may be the first person to take the court as opposed to Trites. Nope, but as it stands, Trites back in. So I think other than Bartlett, we're looking at the same lineups we had been seeing. All right. They're making up some food in the hallway, and it smells very good. Okay. Getting some lineups checked. Oh, no, actually, I'm wrong again. Gauthier got pulled. Okay, actually, we got a totally different lineup on the, Bartlett with a big block and right back. Oh, I mean, that was all just chaos. Bartlett kind of fell over, and I think the defense kind of fell apart because of it. So, Huggard having exchanging some words with Jen Brown. I remember last time Huggard came to town, or sorry, I should say the Chargers came to town. I thought that the degree to which he treated the officials could use some aplomb. And it's an art, right? You want those officials on your side. McDonald thought he got himself a block there, but Seifker's able to squeeze it off and trickle across the net to go out of bounds. So the changes that you'll see with the Seawolves lineup. Seifker is now your power. Finn Kearney-Staunton is your other power. And now in for, here's a better way to word it. Gauthier is out at power. William Seifker is taking his position on the power side. On cue, Seifker with an amazing tip and an even funnier, they're asleep on defense celebration, putting his hands up to his head. Seifker's going to take Gauthier's spot. The spot that Siefker is letting up on offense, that right side position, is going to go to number 9. That's Jacob Huseman. He was listed as a setter, but they actually use him all over the place. And he was the guy that blocked there. That's a Huseman block, and look at the boys celebrating with him. He loves it. It's a good way to welcome yourself to the game, young man. McClellan now back to serve. That one's deep, but handled by Trites. Huggard squeaks one through. It just trickles off the tape and finds some court. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Bartlett a little bit too low there, just going to have to tip it over. Holy smokes. You know, unfortunately that one goes out, but not for nothing. Colby Reese finds that one high and hard, and if he can start to turn that one into the court, like that is an awesome, awesome swing. I know it's funny to say when it doesn't go in, but you know, it's a process over results. 95% of what he did there was awesome. Unfortunately, he just didn't turn it back into the court enough, which happens, but there's some stuff there for sure. Siefker unfortunately puts that serve into the net and brings the Chargers back within 1. McDonald now back to serve. Ooh. Wow, what a touch. Oh, unfortunate. Kearney Staunton doesn't catch it clean, hits on the side of his hand, and basically just pushes it out the back. Couple really nice touches on the Chargers side there from a couple of people. A nice dig from Tingley, a nice use from Reese on the tip. Just some good stuff. McDonald now back to serve in a tie game. Ooh. How high's the net? Too high on that one, unfortunately, as that one finds the tape and the point's going to go back to the Seawolves. That missed serve is going to break the tie. That's another unfortunate one for Reese as he drives that one into his own net. He's close, man, I tell you. He's got some stuff, and he's definitely got some game. Unfortunately, you know, execution in the last couple haven't been good, but he's a dude for this Chargers team. I think he's got some stuff. Bartlett with a side spin serve. Tingley goes back to Huggard, who gets denied. Hilliard with a tip, gets eaten up by McClellan. Oh, well, set her out, so Bartlett has to set it, and it comes out all right, actually. Big block from Willis and McClellan. Sorry, Willis and Kearney Staunton. Again! They're fired up about it. Bartlett now back to serve again. Nursing a 3-point lead here for your Seawolves. No spin on that ball. You could read the label on it. But a great job by the Chargers. Good pass and a really good job out of the middle there by number 4. That's Bryce Stockford. Drives it off of the hands of Willis and takes a point. Interesting. So we're seeing Reese taking a spell. Reese, like I said, I thought he showed some promise out there, and it definitely has the ability to go and be a playmaker for them. But I think the last couple reps from him were block, head out of bounds, and tip. And maybe if they don't trust him as being the strongest server, that's why we see Santa pass in now for the backcourt reps. Wow. Very interesting. I think a lot of the crowd thought maybe that could have been a double call. And I think you can make the argument, but I'll say, I was impressed by Huseman on that hit. That's the first real rep we've seen from him, and he kind of dropped the ball on it. There's two types of like hitters: the guys who drive the ball down, or the boys that rely on a lot of topspin to drive the ball down. Huseman, one of those topspin swingers, but man, pretty impressed by that last rep from him. Huseman with the spinner. Handled well by the Chargers, though. And Hillier. Man. Oh, touch call? Oh, net call. Unfortunately. Yeah, the net is moving, and Hillier wasn't even close to the net. Hillier really high up, really far off the net. Caught that right in his wheelhouse. If there was any complications around the net, that was going to be the Seawolves. Hillier now to serve. Nice hard-driven floater. Kearney Stoughton with a nice drive. Hugger with a great touch. No, but it goes long. Shout out to Huggard, though. Unbelievable effort, and he was also the first person to go back and meet Trites and say, hey, man, that's all right. Like, I like you being there. We're still scrambling. The process is right. We just weren't able to find it, because it could be really easy to be annoyed after you make such a play and your teammate kind of just overbumps it out of bounds. Good stuff there by Huggard, being a leader on that team. Yeah, and you know what? And him and Reese are the captains, and that makes sense. Nice serve there from Stockford. Dug up, though. And Hillier out of the back. Winner, Gagnon. I don't know why there was ever any confusion. That was clean in. Oh. Honestly, a fairly interesting rep altogether there. That his approach to that serve. I hadn't noticed on an earlier reps what it looked like, but that one just tosses a little too low and drives it into the tape. Seawolves maintain a 3-point lead. Willis just trickles over for what I believe is his first made serve of the day, and they call a double on that one. And like I get it. Willis now back to serve again. Yeah, so last game they put in Tucker. Tucker serves 5 straight, plays good defense, and they rally to get it out. If you're gonna serve, if you're gonna put in Tucker when the game's on the line, like, just put in Tucker for the game and let Willis work this stuff out in practice, or come with Willis with a plan and say, hey, you have to make your first 2 if we're not gonna keep pulling you when you miss these. Because as much as you want to give your guy an opportunity to work it out, I would be surprised if anybody in the league has a serve percentage worse than Willis. And I'm not trying to pile on Willis. I think Willis knows. I think he's an awesome player. It's just, if he could, I think he's a good defender too. If he could keep himself in the game as a server, I think the Seawolves, it would turn something of a weakness on this team into a really big strength. But right on cue, Liam McClellan shows you that making a serve anytime isn't easy. Back now to serve is Huggard, who has his own struggles so far with serving today. I think he just needs to get the toss right. Bang, perfect. Good push to the outside. Oh, Huseman's lefty. That's why they like him on the right side. Okay, I get it. Nice job there by Hillier to use those hands and squeak it out to the side. That point's going to go the Chargers' way, and now just 2 as Huggard goes back to serve. Great pass. Oh, wow. Trites trying. Great job by JFM. Let them run their offense. Seifker, come on. I thought that was going to be the one on the last one. I thought he had it right in his wheelhouse and he was going to, bake the cookies for us. Instead, the first one was a tip. Showed it to Trites. They scramble and get it back over, but, he's not going to go twice. It's not going to happen twice. No, that's crazy. And a timeout call on top of it. Seifer taking over. Seifer having some fun out there, and I like it for him. A lot of first-year contributors on this Seawolves team. The future's bright. I think, I've never seen a coordinated serve-receive or service celebration like that since maybe high school, and I think I kind of expected that makes sense. But, credit where credit is due, man. Seifer is a weapon and a really, really well-timed change-up serve there from a guy that's always float serving to steal a point. And what we were talking about earlier with the Willis thing is, you make the serve, you live to see another day. You give the team the other opportunity to make a mistake. You give your team the opportunity to make a play. You miss a serve, there's nothing you can do. To some extent, even underhanding it, like if you know you're going to make it, you're going to get as easy as it is. It's basically a free ball to let Crandall go run their offense. If you can play defense or you can put up a big block, you can give yourself a chance. Missing your serve, you ain't got a chance, right? So it's the nature of the beast. Seifer to serve again. Seifer, like I was saying, yeah, he's got that float serve, but he's got his spin serve that he uses almost always, and maybe he was having some issues with it in warm-up, or maybe he saw some matchups that he likes with the float serve. But anyway, going with the more consistent option, going with the more trustworthy option, and when you're putting the ball on the court, it gives you a chance to make plays. And that's what the Seawolves are doing. Oh, wow, good job by Santa Pass to stay clean there. That could have been bad. And a big swing from Bartlett. Hugger just going to send that one over. Huseman tracks it down. They're going to go to power here. Bomb squad. Seawolves. That's volleyball, man. Dug up by Trites. Good push back to Santa Pass. Ooh. Santa Pass instantly had something to say to Tingley about that. I think he was probably asking it to be more on the net, maybe higher to the pin. It's hard to say, but with a miss like that, I mean, it wasn't even close to his wheelhouse. He almost missed the net. Holy smokes. Huggard, I like the decision there, especially as probably the best hitter and the captain on the team. You need to show some aggression there. That one obviously is not able to find the court. It drifts out maybe 2 or 3 feet. But from a process standpoint, I like that. And when the playoffs come around, or when he's in his second and third year, getting those reps now will matter for him. And he's had that experience, and he's only going to get better at it doing it. So I would never, ever try and coach that out of him. I would never say, hey, I want you bumping that over. I want my guys being aggressive. And despite not making that one, I like that he went for it. It's a great answer. Oh, wow. So we got to switch. We got to change up here. We had Reese in the game, and then Reese got himself supplemented for Santa Pass, I believe. And now we are going to see Hillier on the bench. And into the game comes the main. The best hair on the Chargers, the golden mullet, number 15, James Jeffrey. JJ, as they call him. First year outside from Truro, Nova Scotia. Good serve there from McDonald, just trickling over. I think my opinion is on that play is clear. I think that those should be reserved, but as it stands, as it stands, a big point on the first one, and then a ball don't lie moment on the second one because who knows, maybe you shouldn't have even made the first one. So, now a 7-point lead for the Seawolves, who are cruising into this back 5 points of this last game, that 20-point mark. Bartlett with a good serve, but a good pass. Santa pass. Good job by Bartlett. Oh, the doubler. You know, you got to respect Willis being there and getting that first touch. But it, just instinct to hit that second touch when no one else was even close. He could have let it hit the ground and it would have been the same. Would have been the same outcome. But a really, really nice block there by the by your Chargers. So Santa pass now back to serve. Just gonna float one over. Nice serve. That's so not easy. And I certainly hope you watching at home don't think when you see that's a routine play. It's like the patience it takes to, just get to the position where Finn Kearney-Snelton is and then wait, and then load and go. And get it right in your wheelhouse where these guys are still only blocking you and you can get a nice, high, hard-driven shot to the middle backcourt. I'm not sure what the issue was there. I think maybe something to do with the way that the bench are composing themselves or maybe the way that the Chargers were rolling the ball back to the ball people. Yeah, it looks like they just need to create some space. There's a black ring around the court that they usually don't want the volleyball players stepping into. Huseman now to serve. Nice serve. Wow, a great job by Jeffrey to stay clean on the net there. And a great dig by Traits. Oh, my goodness. No, it's got to go. Huggard and Tingley talking it out. It's tough, right? You'd rather two people there than none. You want both of them to be there, and they're all first-year players, right? So with experience, they're going to find out who they want taking that ball. Now, the right answer is Huggard. You want Huggard taking it so that Tingley can go be your setter. But they're both there and both trying to play that ball. They kind of both take themselves out of opportunity for the next hit and maybe aren't able to deliver the best pass because of it. And then the next, the very next rep, you get a big block from Kearney-Snelton and then the backside middle run. And it's kind of getting away from you now. It feels like a far cry from that first set that you won 25-17 or 27-25. Oh, it's close, but not in. Huseman just tries to paint the line up that left side. Unfortunately, it's a little too wide. That point's going to go to the Chargers. And now an 8-point game. Unfortunately, Jeffrey, you could tell from the contact, he didn't hit that the way that he wanted to. It doesn't have the top spin that you would usually expect a serve like that to have, and because of that, it's just going to float out the back. Ooh, unfortunate. So back now to serve Stockford. It's a great serve, man. Seifert with a really nice use. Chargers going to run their offense here. Santa pass from the backcourt. Oh, can't find it. Unfortunate. I like the rep. Just execution was a little lacking, we'll say. So after a 1-0 loss, losing the first set, like we said, 27-25. Two really, really strong sets from UNBSJ now. And one away from taking this one clean in their own barn. I think they only have 2 regular season games left before playoffs. These reps matter. I think next weekend the UNBSJ Seawolves have the Holland College Hurricanes coming to town, and that'll be their season finale. So this is their second last game of the season. I don't think the Chargers are making the playoffs just in the way that the playoff format works. So the Seawolves, there's a lot for them as far as momentum to build in these couple games, and I think they have to like the way that it's been going so far. To some extent, that could be why we're seeing something like a Huseman over a Gauthier, or something like a a Siefker playing some power and just trying some different looks because, you know, it's not that this game doesn't matter, but, you know, you definitely would rather have certain experiences than just only feeding your same guys all the time. If the playoff come around, for whatever reason, you need to rely on some different guys from injuries or just people not playing hot, you want to make sure people are ready. And, you know, these reps that you're getting for Bartlett and these reps that you're getting for Huseman, they matter. They certainly matter. All right, back now to serve. McClellan to start off this fourth set. Good pass by Trites. Okay, we got some new faces. I was getting myself a sip of water. I should have been paying attention for you guys. Out of the middle, that's a new face. That is no longer number 12, McDonald. That is number 10, Liam Rafferty, the first-year middle out of Riverview, New Brunswick. Back now to serve is Huggard. Looks like we got all the same faces on the UNBSJ side. Siefker. Wow. Finn Kearney-Staunton has had an awesome game. He's usually one of their more consistent players anyway. There's not really an aspect of his game I think that you would ever say is weak, but you know, when he's clicking and when he's winning his shots, this team is really, really hard to stop because, you know, as good of a swinger he is, and he is an awesome swinger. I think to some extent you'd argue like he may be the third option when Gauthier and Siefker are out there, just from a number of sets point of view. But I don't think it's, you know, I don't think from any reason that he's, you know, any worse than those guys. And when he's swinging good, man, when they're all swinging good, seriously, I mean, this team is a really, really tough team to deal with. Siefker now back to serve. Reese with a nice high-driven ball, but dug by McClellan, and a great job by JFM quickly getting in there and running the offense. Big block by Huseman. Huggard basically with a standing approach there. Oh, it's up! Oh, Trites with a really good effort, falling away from it, showing some really good athleticism, just stabbing his fist down to his hand. Unfortunately, they aren't able to get the next contact, and Seawolves extend their lead to 3. Oh, that one's going to go long, unfortunately. A good, you know, for all intents and purposes, a good rep from the Chargers. Just that execution on that last bit. That bit matters. Siefker now still rattling off these serves. I was saying earlier, you know, I love that he's got this float changeup in the bag. That if he's not feeling good with his spin that day, or he wants to make sure he has a serve that can go find some court and let his boys play, that he has this. Wow, that's a big block. Reese is fired up about it. Trouble, just gonna have to bump this one over. Kearney Staunton, yeah, I mean, he gets turned around 2-3 different ways there. Back to Huseman. Man. Ha! Finger guns from Huseman. How's that? I'll tell you what, man. We haven't seen a lot of Huseman yet this year, number 9. He's a first year. But lots to like about his game. You know, I think to some extent he kind of suffers from the fact that Gauthier, Siefker, and Kearney Staunton are so good at those outside positions that they're so deep. And, you know, even then, I've told you, number 10, Valencia is another player I love. So, you know, it's hard to come by reps at those outside positions. But credit to Huseman. He's making the most of it in his time in the court right now. And not even just, you know, not looking like he's out of place, but has really shown some awesome plays. That last hit was, you know, slightly straight down. A lefty that can generate that kind of top spin at your right side position. It's, you know, it's valuable to have. The future is bright here in SJ. Nice high-driven ball there by the Seawolves. Trites isn't able to get out of the way and extends the lead to 4. Bartlett to serve. Nice pass from Trites. Reese with a big swing, but sent back by Willis. This one's just going to get overbumped. Siefker chases it down, gets a great pass. Runs some offense. Bang! I don't know. I thought it was close. Willis with a smile on his face. I think he thought it was close too, but you know that's a game of millimeters away from dropping a huge bomb there. So what do we got here? We got 3 serve receivers and we got Huseman at the net. Sorry, I'd like to see this go to 9. Give me a good set backwards here. Bang! Huseman a little. I want to see some more some urgency there when that first pass is coming so low to the setter. You got to start getting into your lane and becoming a hitter. You can't wait because it's not going to be that same lofted pass where you can kind of wait and watch the ball. You got to start to get going. There he's a little late. He has to just try and stab at the ball and isn't able to make anything out of it. Fortunately for the Seawolves, Chargers put the next one out of bounds and then put that lead back out to 3. Huseman now back to serve. Wow. And puts Trites on his tummy. And the boys are all doing finger guns back at Huseman. That's got to be his own like kind of celebration. Everybody had a laugh when he had that big kill and he turned to his setter and he gave him finger guns. And after that ace, all the boys on the bench turned to him and gave him some finger guns. I don't know what it is. I like it though. JJ back to serve. One of my former teammates, Tyler Dwarren, was texting me saying that this guy is just an unbelievable athlete. Videos of him dunking a basketball and, you know, Vans in a backpack and, you know, running the athletic combine from his team in jeans and doing it at, you know, an insane clip. Unfortunately, he misses the serve there, but, you know, if I had a list of all the amazing athletes I've seen miss serves in volleyball games, we wouldn't have the time to talk about it. Finn Kearney Staunton now to serve. Ooh, bomb. Oh, Willis. Man, I really appreciate the tenacity from Willis there. I know a lot of players that would get off the net and just start to play defense. Willis going up there and, you know, trying to send that one back and gets a piece of it. Just isn't able to turn it back to the court. So point to Chargers and credit to Huggard for making it tough on the defense. Siefker with a great pass. Gonna go back to Huseman. Wow. Boys gonna run their offense here. Middle. Ooh. Siefker. Give me a middle run. Give me Willis. Ha! They all like it. They do the sleeping celebration. We saw the girls do it in the last game as well. Caught sleeping. Willis now back to serve. It's just so frustrating. I know it's more frustrating for him than it definitely is for me up in the booth. I just think, you know, because you can tell there he is trying to just, you know, lollipop one over. Not lollipop, but he wasn't trying to hit it too hard, and he still can't find you know, the range there for his changeup. Stingley with a floater, handled well by Kearney Staunton. Siefker. Kearney Staunton! Yo, that is a volleyball play, man. Sorry, I said Kearney Staunton. I should have said McClellan. That is a volleyball play. That's your setter. That's your setter dropping that bomb. Follows up with a great serve. Huggard a little late, but great tip use of it. Man, I can't tell you how much I like that swing from Siefker, the way he got his hips around. It's, huge block. Man, the Seawolves are unbelievable blockers. Better than, you know, this team blocking is probably better than any Seawolves team blocking I've seen in probably 4 or 5 years. I mean, when I played here last, we had some freaks at the middle position that were blocking, you know, at least as good as what we're seeing now. But, I mean, it's everybody. McClellan's a great blocker. Finn Kearney-Staunton's a great blocker. And that's nothing to say about the best blockers on the team, which are the middles. Cam Willis is doing a great job. Filch, I was saying, was one of the better blockers in the league already today. Really, really easy to be excited about how these Seawolves teams are handling, you know, some of the less pretty stuff. You know, it's obviously important to be good at hitting, but you got to be disciplined with blocking. It's obviously important to be good at, you know, serving and running your offense, but you got to play defense first. And I think these Seawolves block well. I think they triple block well, which is a good testament to how Dino Karatsios has these guys coached up. I think they play defense well, which is another testament to how head coach Karatsios has these guys coached up. So, Kearney Staunton now. I'm sorry, McClellan now to serve. Did I see a spin serve from McClellan? Am I reading that right? This is a guy that has only ever float served as long as I've ever watched him play. He turns and he hits the ball on 2 once, feeling like a hitter, and now he's a spin server all of a sudden? All the coaches on the bench there had a big smile on their face. I think they would probably have considered that to be a bit of an experimental spin serve as well. Good pass by JFM. Oh, and Jeffrey with a really, really nice push. Kind of gets Siefker dead to rights, but it just isn't able to find the line. Siefker's going to walk away with a kill for that one. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. Maybe I kind of like it. You know, the boys like it. They're fired up about it. Siefker's having fun. Never seen anything like it, but dang. All right, Siefker now back to serve. How funny is it that he's just now float serving it and McClellan's now spin serving it? Long. What? Oh, is it a touch on the block? Because I thought Siefker got out of the way of it. Back now to serve is number 10. That's Liam Rafferty. Wow. I don't even know what happened there. The Seawolves have done a great job serve receiving and communicating all game, and it looks like someone just shut their off switch on that one. Nobody moved. It's like the ball was camouflaged. Oh my goodness. What a play. So hard to underrate how good that was. JFM does an okay job of getting a really tough serve up, but it's low, and McClellan has to get underneath it, and because of it, the timing of Kearney Staunton getting into his route, he's not going to get him to the pin. He's almost going to meet him halfway between the pin and the middle. And for Kearney Staunton to meet that ball there without any communication, just to know, hey, this is where we are now, is awesome. It's something you really want and almost need between your powers and your middles, and just shows you the level of connection and trust that Kearney Staunton and McClellan have with each other. They're the only third year. I think there's Kearney Staunton and Bhavesh Bhargava, as well as McClellan, are the only third-year players on the team. So a lot of chemistry already between them, and it was on display there. That one going to go into the net. Extend this Seawolves lead to 6 points. If you're the Chargers, man, it's kind of has to happen now. We've got a setter switch. Into the game comes number 11. Oh my. That's Mason Stefaniuk. He's a first-year setter out of Regina, Saskatchewan. Timeout called there by the head coach of the Chargers, Garrett West. Yeah, I mean it's a tough situation to be in here if you're the Chargers. You're down 7. The Seawolves are turning the corner here, and they're already up 2-1. A really, really tough situation to be in. It kind of has to happen now coming out of this timeout. I like this timeout call if you're the Chargers. I think, you do need to make sure that they understand the seriousness of this and that this comeback kind of has to start now. But, man, it'll be an uphill battle. The Chargers now getting kind of deep into their bench. We have a new libero in the game. We got a new left side in the game. We have a new middle into the game, and we have a new setter into the game. This, compared to the first 3 sets in which they were playing, and they were, up 1-0 at 1.2. So a lot of different. Oh my goodness. Like that. I mean, that was such a non-volleyball play from the boys. Still big smiles on their face. I think it almost feels like both sides have cashed it in, which you never want to see. Jeffrey with a really well-driven serve. Dude, Kearney Staunton is playing crazy good right now. Some of the best I've ever seen him play. And that was another one where he saw his setter was pulled way out, and there was no way he was going to get that to the pin. So he starts his approach and finishes his approach a good 7 or 8 feet inside from where he was, knowing that that's going to be the new established point of this attack. Oh my, no, Kearney Staunton is hot. He's like Magatu from Zoolander. He's so hot right now. (21-13), 8-point lead down the stretch here, and all coming up Seawolves. Nice hands, strong hands by Jeffrey. Huggard with the tip, but it's eaten up by Siefker. Willis with a good use on a funny situation. I like the idea there from McClellan. I think they had gone so much to power that the middle there was the right choice. Just not a great job of connecting the dots. I think you wanted to throw that 4 inches higher for Willis. And it's funny, that is the margin of error. Like that bit of difference as a setter, especially setting the middle, can be the difference between a big swing and a miss and a shot into the tape or getting blocked. I think it's pretty underrated how small the room for error is on those middle sets. Some net touches there by your Seawolves to get the point back to the Chargers, and Chargers now back to serve, and it's kind of got to start happening now. Stockford back to serve. That's number 4. That's a good serve though. Seifert putting a really nice high hard swing on it, just making use of something. Huggard with the change up. Doesn't drive that as hard as he usually does. Takes a little bit of pace off it and just drops it right in that middle open 6 back. when I say 6 back, the back left corner of the court, if you were the Seawolves right now, the back left corner of the court, that's the position that's referred to as number 1, and then you count around the court in rotation from there. And when you get to the middle, that position is number 6, and that's why that's called 6 back. And that just means the middle back of the court. So Tucker now back to serve. It's funny that they're going to, this late into the game, almost the swan song, they're going to let Willis take his seat and Tucker to serve for him. That one's just going to have to get tipped over. Huseman just pops it up. Oh, yucky. Ha. It's over. Wow. Power, yep. Huggard can't make use of it. Not the greatest set. Seifker with a high, hard shot, but held well by Jeffrey. They're going to get another power. Huggard! But up on Traits. It's got to go over. Seawolves going to run their offense here. Great pass by Kearney Staunton. Run the 1! Bang! Hardwood! How was that? You almost wish that was the 25th point. Jeffrey's a good serve receiver, man. Santa Pass squeezes one through. So not over. Not over yet, technically. I'm just saying technically. So, Stockford to serve. He's in the game now. Seifker runs the 1. Oh, my goodness. That's a sick play. The Seawolves, to some extent, only ran that play because they felt like the game was over and they could try some stuff. But I would like to see them develop their offense like that. They have some high-flying options, and stuff like that should be staples of their offense when they make good passes. If that's doable, we should see it more. I think down the stretch, from the middle of the second into the third and definitely into the fourth, we saw a playoff-ready team in this Seawolves team, man. The playoffs are going to be fun. Every one of the teams making the playoffs has beaten every one of the other teams making the playoffs before. I don't think there's any clear-cut best team in this division. I think almost every team from Holland to UNBSJ to Stu to USA would say that they probably feel like they have the best chance of winning it, and that was what makes for good volleyball. We got one more regular season game before the playoffs. That's next weekend here, UNBSJ versus Holland. We will also have next weekend. We will also have. Let's see if I find it here. There's another game around here somewhere. I know that the women's team plays, and I'm hoping to find. Aha! Next Sunday, February 18th, the women's team will take on the Blue Devils. That's University of King's College. And your UNBSJ Seawolves will take on the Holland College Hurricanes. That's how they'll finish the regular season and head into playoffs. Thank you for tuning in today. We got a Seawolves win from the women's side, 3-2, and a Seawolves win on the men's side, 3-1. All right. Thanks for tuning in.